Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-Sha from wisdomseekers.net. Or you can come directly to me. And we are a group of psychics, intuitives, healers, etc., etc. You name it, we can do it. And I'm here today just to do a quick interactive because there was a few people yesterday that asked some questions and I didn't answer them because we weren't doing interactive. And yes, I recognize that people are not interested, that don't think psychics can be spiritual, but we're far more spiritual than we're psychics. Hi, Eva. It's great to see you. What are you doing up so late? And over where Eva is, it is late. So we, our group of people, we do interactives, we do psychic readings because that helps pay the bills. But we know a lot about spiritual evolution and development. Hello, Jasmine. And so it just makes life interesting. Yeah, busted, Eva. I know what time it is over there. So, we do have really cool insights, actually, with you're very interested in growing. Yeah, I enjoy the witching hour too. And for me, the witching hour is not 12 o'clock, which most people think it is. I think the witching hour is 3 o'clock because that's when everybody starts waking up from their dreams. It's called the triad sleep because we're doing so much in our sleep, our dream states. Witching hour, Mama B, that's used to be the hour. They used to call it midnight. Used to be the witching hour because that's when people thought witches worked. But really, the witching hour is between 2 and 4. But for me, it's always 3 o'clock because I would wake up for years and years and years. I would wake up exactly at 3 o'clock every night. Hi, Tina Jones. It's been a while, hey, but I've been back for a while. I do short interactives now. I don't do the 2-3 hour ones because it just messes my day up. But a half hour here and there, and I don't mind doing a lot of half hours, so it works quite nicely. So the witching hour is just basically, it's a terminology that comes from probably Middle Europe. Comes from Middle Europe mythologies about the witches. So, but now it basically means that people who are on the spiritual track wake up. Hey, Maria, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the reason being is we do so much work in our sleep state that we are woken up so that we don't overdo it, get too much information. Okay, so Tina says, I know that you had told me that I'd be moving either in June or July. What month do you think it is? It's okay if it's not 100% accurate. I'll take it. Time-wise, I'm going to go with July, actually, because that's the one that looked a bit brighter. And it's always nice to have accuracy. I know myself personally, if I read a book, I read the last chapter, about 3 chapters, and I'll read the last chapter because I want to know the ending. And I'm like that now, still. Eva, the veil between the earth and spirit world is supposed to be thinner that time of night. It's when the people around you are in sleep, it's quieter. And that's true. It is because the veil is supposed to be thinner. But Eva, as you get higher and higher, spiritually speaking, or vibrate higher and higher, that has less impact. The lower you are on the spiritual journey, which means if you're stuck in 3D, then that's extremely important. But and you've done a lot of work, Eva, as you grow higher and higher, you find that you can contact or reach out any time of the night or day and get get good information, which is kind of important. So Mama B, so I wrote Michael a letter and mailed it earlier this week. Will he write back to me or call me? He's in jail for felony charges. At the moment, I think he's got your mail. At the moment, he's just thinking about it. He hasn't made a decision. But I suspect he'd probably call you over writing. I have a feeling Michael's not a big letter writer. He hasn't made up his mind yet. But if he does, it will be by phone. Kim? Do you ever see my college? Only if that's something that they do as a general rule and you apply to them for it. Because believe it, colleges are not there to educate people. They're there to make the big bucks. Don't go too fast, people, because I can't read it. My daughter's not here. The chances are, unless you can apply for it and it's part of their standards, they're not likely to. If it is part of their standards, I see maybe a break that, whether it be enough or not, I'm not sure, but possibly up to 25%. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, yes, your uncle passed away suddenly in December 2021. He was second dad to me. Does he have a message for me or my dad? Thank you. Okay, Tim. Was a very happy person, right? And I'm going to have to mark this so I don't lose it. Okay, can't do that. I don't know what. Okay. He was a very happy person, a very jovial person of the energy. That's what I'm getting. He's also very. So this is. Sometimes people do this to me. They'll give me a song to sing to you, and they say, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." So basically, what he's saying, to what I'm picking up from that, is that he really is enjoying life where he is. Things are very good. He's around you a lot, by the way, especially your dad. When your dad's sitting there quietly just being by himself, often his brother will be there with him. And he says, I keep pulling out this checkers board. I think it's checkers. It could be chess. And trying to get him to play, but he never plays with me. Like I said, your uncle is a funny guy. I like him. He's got really nice energy. Don't go too fast. Okay, so I'm going to leave that, Jennifer. If I pick up anything more, I'll let you know. I had a miscarriage when we were trying a new medication this cycle. What are the chances? I had a miscarriage and we are. Oh, okay. You want to know if you're going to have a baby. I do believe you're going to have a baby because I see a chubby cheek, healthy little bouncing baby there. And it's really close. It's not here. It's not, it's not there. It's right there. So I think the chances are really high that you're going to have a conception this month. This baby seems to be very healthy. And sometimes the babies, they'll come in and they'll implant and then they'll miscarriage because they come from such a high vibration that they have to adjust to the lower vibrations before they can come in. And this is probably what happened with the new one that's coming in. The new one that's coming in, the personality is really sweet and adorable. Doesn't mean it's not a baby and won't keep you up 3/4 of the night with colic. But it's a nice soul. And good luck. Major good luck. Okay, Eva. In a recent talk, you mentioned the importance of responding to what people say and not what your intuition picks up on. Was curious why that is important. Well, mostly because if they're not telling you the truth, then they're not ready to deal with the truth. And it doesn't do you any good to point out to them that, hey, you're lying to me, or no, that's not what you're asking. It's easier for people to deal from the level that they're capable of. You may be very well aware that this is not the truth, but that won't help you, it won't endear you, it won't fix the problem, it will exasperate the problem. So go from the level they're at, and you can put a little healing into it. And sometimes all you have to do is hear them. Just say, I hear you. When you say, I hear you, all it means is you heard them. Doesn't mean you have agreed to do it or not agreed to do it. It just means you hear them. So it is easier to lubricate society's reactions by reacting to what they say, not what they're feeling. And that's hardly ever the same. It's very difficult. But if you react to what they're feeling, you might scare the bejeebers out of them, and they run scared and never get to a place where you can have an honest conversation. Okay? And you obviously are doing a lot of the midnight triad sleep, which means you're doing a lot of work. And when you're doing a lot of work, you're going to get it. Okay, Mary Flores. Do my friend DR would like to know what his baby mama. What a pretty name. I can't pronounce it, but it's a very pretty name. Eliz-Sha. See his. She's never going to get the hint. You have to tell her. And you have to either help her find a place that she can afford, because she's not going to do it on her own. Life is easy. And and in her eyes, she's doing the right thing. She's his baby mama. She wants the baby to be grown up with a dad. So for her, she's doing the right thing. If you want her to move out, you have to find a place for her, or help her find a place for her, and also be a support for the child, which means you have to still continue to be the daddy. She is, I agree, she's a little lazy, and she's taking you for a ride. You have to make it easy for her to get out, because she's not going to do it. She knows exactly what you're saying. She's not going to do it for you, okay? And don't expect her to. Hey, Joe. And I'm really sorry. I bet pretty certain I demolish your name when I say it, but I don't have an ear for accents, unfortunately. Daniela, when I relocate to the new city to live permanently, will I find a man who meets the high expectations I have set when it comes to relationships with me? So a relationship is a bit like a man. A relationship is a bit like buying a house. If you get 75% of what you would like in a relationship, and the 25% you can live with, not change, because that's not a relationship, that's ownership. And you don't want to be in an ownership, you want to be in a relationship. If you find 75% of what you want, And the most important part is not the looks, but the personality. If the personality is good, smile is good, humor is good, but he teases you and you want to beat him, accept the teasing because it might be his way of saying, I love you. All right? So that's not what you ask. I understand. I'm telling you to put your expectations high because you want a high value man, because you're a high value woman. But what you are will attract your equal. So if you are expecting to meet somebody, then a totally different context. You have to be that person. You have to be open to meeting somebody. My husband and I separated in 97. I have never been open to meeting another person. I kept my energy closed. And I did it on purpose because I had 3 young daughters, all preteen to early teens at that time. They are now in their 30s. And for some reason or other, I never opened up my energy to accepting a meeting. And to this day, I haven't. But if I had, things would have been totally different. So you want to be receptive. And how do you be receptive? You be very feminine. So instead of wearing jeans and a t-shirt, wear jeans and a pretty blouse, or wear jeans and a scarf. Something that sets you apart from how men act. And don't walk like a man. Sway your hips. And when you sway your hips, you activate your sexual chakra. And that's what attracts men to women, honestly, is when their sexual energy starts to move. So good luck. Yes, I did answer that very long, but I can do that because this is my show. Okay. Is there anything? Okay, yes, this is a really huge week in the energies, Joe. Really huge. It's like we've been picked up, turned around, and we haven't been set down yet. So if things are on hold, it's because we're going in a new direction, new life. Totally different things are happening. It's something called the Heaven's Cross, happened on the 22nd, I believe. It's changing our life completely. And if you're on the spiritual path, it will affect you far more than people who are still having fun playing in the 3rd dimension. Because what's happening is, instead of us reaching for the 5th dimension, the higher selves, and whatever you call it, doesn't matter, angels, oversoul, whatever, I don't care, is coming down to settle its mantle on you. And so it's like a train who's switching tracks. We haven't quite got there yet, but when it starts up, we will be told, are given new directions, new beginnings. And some of it will rely on what you're doing, because it's not going to be completely switched. For me, I haven't worked for a week now. I haven't had a reading in a week. That never happens. And I'm starting to get it going. What? I mean, I've had a break. Give me, I need to work. I haven't worked in over a week. Why? Because when I get back to work, things will be different. I will be working on a higher vibration. And this is what is happening with you as well. I can see this is what's happening with you. When it settles down, and it still hasn't lit, because if it had lit, I'd be working. And I'm not just talking about myself. I think this is happening to a lot of people. When it lands, you will have distinctly different choices. You know, you've got a few job choices. You have a chance to go to university in England, etc., etc. You will have a feeling of, yes, I know exactly what I want. All right. So go for that, Joel. And okay. You're welcome, Jasmine. This is a good way of putting it. Lubrication of society. Well, it's true, because it's unfortunately, society is really, at the moment, everything jogs everybody and it makes them angry or frustrated. Whether it's real or not, this is what it is. So Jennifer, yes, he would make jokes and sing. He enjoyed life even though he had a hard childhood. No dad, hit by a car wow. His daughter and wife still in depression, not able to cope with his. Oh, I mean, he was very much loved, that's for sure. And he loves them too. It's too bad that they're missing him so badly, because he's right there. Is there a pond somewhere in the family? I think you're because I'm seeing a pond, and it's like he sits there with people when they're at the pond, and he really tries to interact, but he laughs when he can't interact because he knows they can't see him. But he's always there. Well, I can't give you clarity, Joel. I'm sorry. It really is, because it hasn't landed yet. And when it lands, I haven't got clarity. I don't know where I'm going next. I really, all I have to say is trust. Trust yourself. Trust the mantle that's coming over you. And trust that the universe has the right energy for you. I know it's really difficult being in that in-between state. It really is. I know I hate it. But at the same time, I know it will be what it will be. So we're going to go with that, right? Both of us, or all of us. All right. So I've been on 22 minutes. I think I've run out of people. It's been a blast. I can't think of anything else. I do know this Google Heaven's Cross. You will find it very, very important for all of you who are interested. If you're interested, it's important. And it is a new energy coming to Earth. It's the beginning of the end. The end is it's not going to happen tomorrow or next 2 weeks. I think it's got at least 5 years. But it is the beginning of the end. And when I say the beginning of the end, if you look around you, everywhere in the world, there's chaos. And there's, hey, Aaron, there's chaos, there's destruction. It's people look like they're floundering, and they are. But on the 22nd, that was the beginning of the end. We still have to allow people to grow and change and develop at their own level, and some of them won't. We have to allow them to find their way through to the end. So we might not even notice it globally till around the 2025, which is 2 years, maybe 2.5. It will be finished by 2028. What part, I don't know. But in the meantime, smile, laugh, enjoy, because those are the attributes that will give you the most power and the most stability within your life. The happiness, allowing, not worrying too much, and it's really hard not to worry right now. But it is what it is. And if you live where Eva lives, things are starting to shift and change very quickly over there. And I hope, like heck, that it continues to change in a very positive way. Your partner, Vidya, your partner died and left me renting. Okay, so your wish is to own a place of your own. I'm sorry that about your partner, honestly. Uh, I'm going to make a suggestion, Vidya. Make your home in your heart, where you're out, wherever you are home, because you're with your heart is your home, and that will attract the perfect place for you to be. And I do see a beautiful little place that seems to have trees around it, not thick trees, but trees. It's not huge, but it's nice, and it's calm. And I think that will be reflected from the heart space. If you wherever you are, it's home, and the heart space will follow where you're allowed to have a home of your own. Or not allowed, that's the wrong word. Where you and your oversoul choose to have a home that's concrete and you can always return to. Okay? So thank you very much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it. One of the hardest things I have to do in life is to say goodbye. And you'll notice that this, and every time I do a video, I have a really hard time saying goodbye. Jennifer Swallow. See? No, I really have a hard time. I knew he would be around them to comfort them. He loved them so much. There is a pond on a piece of property my family used to own. He used to love to visit there when he was younger. He is happy. He is very happy. He's doing very well. He's also working, and he was always busy. Well, he's always busy still. What he's doing on the other side is not this obviously not the same, but he is helping people build, but not build physical, but build for themselves, build their self-esteem, build a desire within themselves. He's actually quite a good, for lack of a better word, teacher. You're welcome, Vidya. Again, I'm going to say goodbye. And I'm sorry, I have to laugh because you too. Oh, I'll be on again. I get bored. Like I say, I haven't worked for a week and it's driving me a little insane. So I have to do something. And this is as something I can do. All right. Namaste. Namasko. I love you. And you I do love. Bye.